11, local first.
A single car crash in Stevens sent a driver to the hospital. We'll have the details. Plus,
it's week 2 of our Teacher Appreciation Series. I'm at Conestoga Valley to help celebrate the 41-year career of one retiring faculty member.
But we begin tonight with a student arrested at school for damaging property. Good evening, I'm John Buffone. An IU-13 student was taken into custody after assaulting police officers. Northern Lancaster County Regional Police were called to Fairland School in Lititz, where they say 19-year-old Ryan Batra was being violent and destroying school property. According to authorities, he caused significant damage to school property and assaulted 2 officers, with one of them sustaining minor injuries to the face. Batra was taken to Lancaster County Prison. At approximately 5 p.m. today, first responders were called to the first block of South Line Road in Stevens for a single car crash. Authorities say a female driver lost control and then struck a utility pole, which caused the vehicle to roll.
There was a person hit the telephone pole at a decent rate of speed and rolled her vehicle. Basically, crews right now are working on getting the pole, the utilities back in service for the area.
The driver was taken to Wellspan Ephrata Hospital for minor injuries. The accident is still under investigation. Burger King on North Reading Road in Ephrata closed down briefly after a reported gas leak. Approximately 20 customers and employees were evacuated from the building while the extent of the leak was examined last night. UGI quickly responded and determined there was a small leak in a line outside the restaurant, and it remained closed until repairs were made. Well, it's National Nurses Week, a time to celebrate nurses who lead the charge for health and wellness. Wellspan Ephrata Community Hospital has been recognizing their group of roughly 400 nurses all week, ending with a special lunch this afternoon. Vice President of Patient Care Services Tina Citro says nursing is much more than just a job title.
Nursing's a calling. It's a really tough, challenging profession and job, but it's the most rewarding profession that there is, and it's definitely a calling. And we asked nurses today to tell us, why did I become a nurse? And really, you have to love caring for people and really have passion and wanting to give back and everything to be a great nurse.
The theme for this year's Nurses Week is nursing, the balance of mind, body, and spirit. Nurses Week starts every year on May 6th and ends on May 12th, which marks Florence Nightingale's birthday. Well, a lot of people are making Mother's Day plans for this weekend, but should they consider staying indoors? Carl Kern has our first look at the forecast.
First Look Weather is brought to you by The Wagon at Weaver Markets. Check out weavermarkets.com for this week's menu.
John, I will give you a very definitive no to that question on both days, believe it or not. Even though the rain is already falling and the expectation is the rain will be coming down pretty heavy when everyone gets up on Saturday, there's a good chance that by the time we get past 4 or 5 p.m. on Saturday, that the heaviest rain will have lifted to the north, and we may see the rain just slowly come to an end across the Susquehanna Valley, and perhaps, just maybe, some brightening skies. Now, Sunday as well, not a washout, in fact, quite the opposite. There will be some much improved weather later in the day, some passing showers as well. Quite a bit warmer on Sunday, but if you're going out Saturday, you may need to consider the temperature. It will be a bit chilly. Your complete forecast is coming up, John.
Sounds positive. Thanks, Carl. We're continuing right along with our Teacher Appreciation Series at Conestoga Valley High School. News 11's Holly Hare highlights CV Middle School's beloved English teacher and theater director.
Thanks, John. This week we head to Conestoga Valley to celebrate the career of one teacher who's brought music and literature into the lives of students for 42 years, and all as a buckskin. We're talking about Mrs. Susan Fisher of CV Middle School. Today she opens her door to both her classroom and her heart in this week's edition of our Teacher Appreciation Series.
This is the most wonderful school district, the most wonderful school, the greatest set of kids. It has been enjoyable every single day, truly.
She's been a force for the Conestoga Valley School District for 42 years, with 41 at the middle school alone. But her long-standing career as a buckskin comes to a close in just 2 weeks.
It's hard to walk away from this job. I can't just drop it after the end of May and say, this is it, I'm done here. I need to come back and stay actively involved, and I intend to do that. I like those. The personal messages are wonderful.
Mrs. Fisher has paved the way for how CV middle schoolers stay engaged in and out of school, leading several service projects, including one they were working on today.
We work at the Lancaster Relay right here at CV High School in June, and we are the greeters. We serve the survivors meal. We make cards for all the cancer survivors, and it's something I want to continue next year. I'll make sure you spell correctly too. That always helps.
Markers in hand, students wrote inspiring messages for survivors. But Mrs. Fisher instills more than civic responsibility in her students. One she's most known for is her involvement in the arts.
What happened, Gabby? Romeo died. Romeo died. I'm working with kids in the classroom all day, but then right after school we get to do a completely different thing. It's creative and it's active and it's so much fun. And it's delightful for me to see where these kids go after that.
Her room, adorned in music memorabilia, signed posters, and inspirational quotes, act as a lens into Mrs. Fisher's passions and memories, with one in particular she enjoys talking about most.
Probably the most notable would be working with Jonathan Groff, our local actor, you know, as a 7th and an 8th grader, and that's been a real highlight of my career as a director of the play.
She says each day is loaded with memories, but hopes students leave her with this sentiment.
That I've been encouraging, that I've been kind to them, and that means more than anything else.
But personally, her time inspiring young minds has been
gratifying. I am so grateful for everything that has happened over these 42 years. I'm grateful for this opportunity. I'm grateful for the school district. I'm grateful for the children. I'm grateful that I've been able to be a part of something that's a whole lot bigger than myself.
A big thank you to Conestoga Valley School District and Mrs. Fisher for her devotion to education, and best wishes on her retirement. I'm sure we'll still be seeing a lot of her as she plans to stay involved in school activities and the community. Next Friday, we head to Warwick School District for Teacher Appreciation to hear from one teacher sparking students' interest in STEM-related fields. Reporting in studio, I'm Holly Herr. John, back to you.
Over 100 competitors gathered at the Mannheim Auto Auction to find out who was the best auctioneer. Videographer Chris Bloss brings us all the sights and sounds of this year's World Automotive Auctioneers Championship.
So today we're hosting here at Mannheim Auto Auction the World Automobile Auctioneer Championship. We have over 100 participants throughout North America and from Canada here on site participating for the title of World Automobile Auctioneer Champion. So this championship is for our industry. It celebrates the auctioneer, who's really the drumbeat for what happens here and in our auctions across not only Mannheim but the industry.
So the contestants are judged on 4 or 5 categories: it's product knowledge, crowd interaction, internet interaction, and overall professionalism. Highly competitive, but it's also big camaraderie. So you'll see guys that, although they're competing, will get down and then cheer on the next guy. I guess it's about everybody bringing their best performance of the day. And
finally, we get to celebrate Mannheim, Pennsylvania. You know, it's built up of so many awesome employees, over 1,500 employees here at our auction.
To have everybody here for the first time at the world's largest, greatest auto auction, more for them than us, I think, because everything I've heard all day is, I'm finally here, I finally got to see it, I've always wanted to come, the world's greatest. So it's been a lot of fun.
Well, stay tuned to the Evening Report. More local news is coming up after the break. 10,000 Villages is holding an event that educates residents of Lancaster County about fair trade. Plus, some enchanted guests stop by Wilbur Chocolate in Lidditz for Second Friday. And later in sports, Brian Cass and the sports crew will break down the first day of the LL Track and Field Championship. Well, tomorrow is World Fair Trade Day, and in honor of the day, 10,000 Villages in Ephrata is putting on a special event. The business on North Reading Road will be having a celebration exhibit about the impact fair trade makes in communities, including the communities in Lancaster County.
It's going to be a great event to understand not only the history of fair trade and how fair trade actually had a lot of its roots here in Lancaster County, but to see where fair trade has grown and to learn what the various principles of fair trade can mean for you.
The event takes place tomorrow from 3 to 6 p.m. and will include food samples from the 10,000 Villages Cafe. The customers at Wilbur Chocolate tonight were greeted by 2 very special guests. Disney princesses Snow White and Belle were in Lidditz for Second Friday and roamed the chocolate store to take pictures with some customers.
The excitement from the kids is adorable. Some of them come in with their homemade costumes, and some of them have their regular costumes. Some of their costumes light up. They all have their tiaras. They look forward to it about picking out what outfit they're wearing to see them, and they have to show the princesses what outfit they're wearing.
In addition to the princesses, the chocolate store also had free samples of chocolate-covered gummy bears. And don't forget to enter our latest giveaway. We've partnered with the Mannheim Chamber to give one winner a pair of race entries and glow shirts for the Rock and Glow 5K in Mannheim. Just log on to our website, BRC-TV11.com, and click on the Rock and Glow banner. We'll announce the winner next Monday, May 15th. The race is set for June 3rd at 9 p.m. in downtown Mannheim. Carl Kern will be back after the break with his complete weather forecast. Plus, Mother's Day is fast approaching. Learn how this holiday came about in America.
News 11 weather with Carl Kern, local first.
Start of another May weekend. We really don't count these as part of our summer package of weekends, but they're like the warm-up to the summer weekends. And typically in May, if we have to give away maybe 1 or 2 weekends, we usually have come to expect warm summer-like conditions in the weekends leading up to Memorial Day. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's what returns by next weekend. But this weekend, well, hey, look, Friday night didn't turn out to be a washout, did it? No. And there is just a chance that at this time tomorrow night, the rain will have stopped. It may be wet out there. There may be some issues, some flooding issues in low-lying areas. Mother's Day weekend, we all been through this. It doesn't have to be on Sunday. It might not be until next weekend. So people are going out tonight, tomorrow night, Sunday, next weekend, whenever they can get together with mom or grandma or new mom or whoever. So we wish happy Mother's Day to all moms out there, and hopefully we do have dry weather for maybe the dinner hours on Saturday and again on Sunday. So there is a good chance that in the 6, 7, 8 o'clock time frame that it might not be raining both Saturday and Sunday, and it wasn't raining tonight at the same time either, even though rain is working its way in, and you notice how the coverage starts to fill in. Can you tell when the sun went down and the temperature dropped just a tiny bit and the atmosphere takes on a little more moisture? As the temperature goes down, the dew point comes closer together. That's that extra moisture. The heaviest axis of rain right along the Pennsylvania-New Jersey border, an inch plus. So even the Susquehanna Valley, maybe 3/4 of an inch. And there's still that chance that some of the heaviest rain shifts east and this all lifts to the north quickly and by the end of the day on Saturday. So cooler with rain most of the day Saturday, 48 to 53, but a big temperature jump for Sunday. Lows tonight, upper 40s, highs tomorrow, low 50s, narrow temperature range. But after that, we start widening things out and we start seeing temperatures jumping dramatically. Now, storm system's still going to get its act together off the coast, but our weather system that held things up all week is now breaking down and pulling away. So fortunately, we are getting set up for a really nice run of days coming up here starting Monday and perhaps taking us right through Friday without any threat of rain and with temperatures that are on the increase from the upper 60s to the low 80s and really warm overnight temperatures. You might even be running the air conditioner by next week if you're not running the heat this weekend. Tonight, tomorrow, it is quite chilly out there. 5 p.m., I'm telling you, there's a good chance that there are better conditions for being out and driving around and moving around in the evening on Saturday. And again, Sunday is not a washout by any stretch. So steady rain developing, cool with periods of heavy rain, but not lasting the entire day. So keep that in mind. If you can make your plans flexible, you can still avoid the heaviest of rain. It's going to be wet a good part of the early half of the day, John, on Saturday, and 3/4 of an inch of rain is possible. But the jump in temperature is dramatic, over 10 degrees, and then it just keeps right on going through Thursday, 85. Overnight lows in the 60s several nights later later in the week. And that looks like a really nice lead-in to what we could call maybe one of our first early summer weekends here in the month of May, John.
Sounds good, Carl. Thank you. Well, today students in both 4th and 6th grade got a first-hand look at careers on wheels, including us here at Blue Ridge News 11. The Career Day focused on jobs that revolve around transportation. Our Shannon Murphy, videographer Maddie McGovern, and sportscaster Brian Cast explained to the kids what we do every day and how we get around in our news vans. Teachers say it was a great experience for the kids.
You never can realize how close things are in your community and how willing they are to come and help. Teach kids about what they do as far as their career is concerned and kind of open up their eyes and give them that awareness of, you know, there's some really cool things out there that you can do for a job and learn more about it, and kind of that hands-on type experience as well.
The kids rotated around to different stations today and told us what they learned and what they want to be when they grow up.
What'd you learn?
That it takes hard work and a lot of dedication to get to where people are right now.
The police truck actually has some crime stuff that could help them figure out what happened.
What do you guys want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do?
Author.
Author, that's great. What about you?
Maybe drive a food truck with my best friend and we travel around the whole world.
Other businesses or careers that participated included Sugar Whipped Bakery and their food truck, police officers, fire and EMS, as well as trucking and limo companies.
I'll invest in that world-traveling food truck.
I'll tell you what, you were running around quite a bit today telling those kids about the business.
Yeah, it's awesome. Love to answer all their questions. Always a lot of fun, and hope we can do it again.
Speaking of running around, I hear you're talking a little bit about track today.
Yeah, we were pretty busy. LL Track and Field, of course, but the league volleyball playoffs were on our channel tonight. We had a double dip of games. Both Manheim Central and Garden Spot were in action. Could both teams move on? Find out next in sports. Busy day out there for our local track and field athletes. Day one of the annual LL Championship meet at Hempfield High School, which includes half of the field events and time trials for the track events. Now, day two events, depending on the weather, might have to be pushed back until Monday. News 11 Sports' Chad Landers, though, runs down all of our day one highlights.
They were off and running Friday afternoon for the Lancaster Lebanon League Track and Field Championships. An overcast day at Hempfield High, but no precipitation in the 100-meter dash. The favorite in the event is Conestoga Valley speedster Jose Barbone. He wins his heat fairly easily and looks to bring home one of many golds on Saturday. Also headed to the 100-meter final is Garden Spot's Matt Folk, who won his heat by 1/1000th of a second. Should be a good showdown. For the girls in the 100, Warwick has a pair of runners headed to the finals. Leah Graybill wins her heat with a solid performance. Her teammate Lily Palacio-Lewis wins her heat by just edging out Ephrata's Jenny Young. They'll all race on Saturday for gold. On to the 100 hurdles. Manheim Central's Billy Jo Bollinger is the defending league champ and looks to be in top form once again. Finishes well ahead of the field. She'll go for back-to-back gold on Saturday. 200-meter girls up next. It's the dynamic duo from Warwick again. Graybill looking pretty comfortable in the sprints. She'll be pushed in this event by that teammate Palacio-Lewis, who edges out the competition in these heats. 200 meters for the guys. Barbone again the favorite to win gold, and look at him here, calm, cool, collected as he pulls away from the field. Could be a huge meet for this buckskin. Distance races up next. Girls on the track for the 3,200 meters. Warwick's Kate Dickhow, the defending champ, and she's going to take it out fast early on, leading the way. But down the stretch, it's Liana Tirado from JP McCaskey winning in 11 minutes, 6 seconds. Dickhow gets silver and feels pretty good about her performance.
I just went out to race. I wasn't really sure if I was going to PR today or not, but I just was looking to feel good, get a good workout in, and just have fun and enjoy it.
For the boys, it all begins and ends with the showdown between Nathan Henderson of JP McCaskey and Ephrata's Zach Lefevre. Henderson so good at the long distances, and he wins his third gold in the 3,200 with a league meet record of 9:03. Lefevre comes home behind him with silver. Let's head to the field events now. You saw how fast Jose Barbone is on the track. He can also jump pretty far in the pits, dominates for a gold medal in the long jump, 22.9½. Cocalico's Dimitri Whitsett gets bronze. In the boys' javelin, Warwick's Eric Garner, one to watch this postseason, throws it 190 feet 8 inches. It's good enough for silver. Manheim Central's Jay Barretto gets 4th, Cocalico's Brad Hecht 6th. And lastly, but surely not least, Ephrata Mount's Eli Bazenga, in his first year of high jump, leaping over his competition, clearing 6 feet 4 inches. He's ecstatic. He wins gold with a final height of 6'5", and we will be hearing a lot from him in the next coming weeks. Day 2 of LL League action is set for Friday, and the forecast is calling for a lot of rain. At the LL Track and Field Championships, Chad Landers, News 11 Sports.
Thank you, Chad. On to volleyball now, where the LL playoff bracket is underway. Quarterfinals tonight. If you were tuned into BRC-11, you saw 2 of the games, including unbeaten Manheim Central hosting Conestoga Valley. Barron's 16-0 overall. CV, the 4th finisher from Section 1. But they did beat Hempfield earlier this week. They're hanging right here with the Barons block there at the net for the Buckskins, and they take a 4-3 lead in Game 1. Very next point, though, here comes Manheim setting it up for their hammer. Sophomore Mason Nisley just destroying the ball all night long. Central wins Game 1 25-17. CV keeping it close in Game 2, but these Barons so organized. Block for Central there. They win Game 2 25-14. And in Game 3, the Barons continuing to just wear down CV. Tanner Stauffer going to drop the shot in there, finds the floor. Central looks in fine form in these quarterfinals. They win it in a sweep, 3-0. On to the nightcap in Manheim. Garden Spot Spartans taking on the Hempfield Black Knights. Spot comes out firing early in Game 1. Carter Eby, their go-to guy, pounds that one over. And we're all tied up at 2. Spartans staying within shouting distance of Hempfield for the majority of Game 1. Check out this block at the net. Fires up the Spartans. Colin Elliott, Chris Murray combined for it. And Garden Spot takes an eventual lead. Then they'll add to it. Devin Weaver from the outside with the blast off the block. Puts the Spot up to 15-13. But late in Game 1, they lose that lead. Hempfield wakes up, starts tearing the cover off the ball. Black Knights eliminate Garden Spot from this tournament 3-0. And we will pass along the other volleyball score from tonight. Upset alert. Manheim Township beats Cocalico 3-0. The Eagles are the 3rd-ranked team in the district in the AA classification, but now they will have to regroup for districts. More playoffs, though, to chat about. How about LL baseball? It was supposed to be a 4-game marathon on Saturday at Ephrata's War Memorial Field, but due to the impending storms, the game's pushed back to Monday. Manheim Central plays Section 2 champ Elizabethtown at Manheim Township at 4 p.m. Nightcap there, Section 4 champ Lancaster Catholic versus Warwick. At the same time, over at the War, it will be Garden Spot and LS at 4, followed by Section 1 champion Penn Manor and Annville Cleona at 7 o'clock. And the LL softball playoffs have also been pushed back to Monday. Only one of our local teams making the field. Garden Spot Lady Spartans were Section 2 runner-ups. They will play Donegal, the Section 3 champions. First game of a double-header Monday at 5:30 at the field behind Warwick Middle School. But for now, that will do it for sports. We'll be right back.
Well, plenty of mothers will be showered with gifts and appreciation, rightfully so, of course, this Sunday for Mother's Day. But how did this national holiday begin? Some credit its roots in ancient Greece and Rome when celebrations were held for mother goddesses. But the first Mother's Day celebration in the United States occurred in 1908 when Anna Jarvis wanted to commemorate her mother Anne, who was a pioneer in mother education. In 1914, Congress voted that every second Sunday of May would be Mother's Day. Mother's Day, you gotta take care of Mom.
Yeah, you said you have a little special Mother's Day this year.
I do. My girlfriend's mother is visiting from Brazil, the first time she's seen her in 7 years.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very, very special Mother's Day. And
that would be insane. I couldn't imagine not seeing my mom for 7 years.
Very emotional. I'm gonna see my mom too.
I'd have to get her a lot of presents for over that span. Yeah, for sure.
That's right. Until next time, I'm John Buffone.
And I'm Brian Cast. We'll see you next week.